Hello, good people. Something very different than I usually do. It's not going to be a cover, it's not going to be a tutorial, no jam, no nothing. But it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time now, and it's something that is very dear to me, so you probably might expect me to get very passionate about this while talking. It is why you should finally start playing the guitar or any other instrument that you always wanted to play. I've been playing for almost 11 years now. It's 10 and a half years. And in this time, I've heard so many people going like, I wish I would play the guitar too, or I wish I would have started playing the guitar at some point in my life. Being it people who are 20, who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatsoever. I heard a lot of people say this. And there are very good reasons, first of all, why you might want to pick up the guitar. First of all, any instrument is just a beautiful thing. Making music is just, it's just beautiful. I've never heard anyone saying like making music is shit, unless you're very unmusical. But most people are musical and can make music. So I can't think of a downside, to be honest, on why you should not do it. But let me dig into why most people don't do it. There's a variety of excuses that I've heard in those 10 years by now. And they're mostly always the same. First of all, it's always, I don't have the time for it. Second, might be, it's too expensive. My hands are too small. I don't know where to start. It's like probably most common excuses, five or four most common excuses that I've heard now. And let me address those. First of all, no time. Let's be honest, no time is never an excuse. There is just not, I don't have the time for anything. Just think about how much time you spend in front of the TV or on Facebook or on Instagram or whatsoever. Like, how many time wasters do you have in your day that you can eliminate and actually stop playing the guitar or piano or whatsoever? Just let that sink in. Like, do you want to spend time on yourself doing something that you love, that you always wanted to do? Or you're going to waste your time on doing superficial stuff like browsing on Facebook? I mean, we're all guilty of it, me too. But I'm trying to cut it out by now because it's just, to me, a waste of time. And I want to spend quality time on things that actually help me move forward. The second thing, it costs money or it is expensive. It doesn't have to be. Like this guitar that I recently just bought is a bit more expensive, but the first one I started out, it was $150 10 years ago. And you can get very, very, very reasonably cheap guitars for like $100. Like if you're that much on a budget, get one of those guitars. You can get actually a reasonable guitar for very, very cheap money. So if it's really that tight, grab a cheap guitar and start out and then work your way up. But that should not be an issue. You don't have to start off with a guitar for €1,000 for an acoustic guitar, or buy a Two-Rock amp and a custom shop Fender Strat. You don't need that. If you want to start out, you can start out cheap. My hands are too small. They're no small hand. Like the most people think they have small hands, but they usually don't. Like my hands are pretty big, but like there's kids playing. So if a 3-year-old kid or 4-year-old kid can play the guitar, you can do that too, whatever size your hand is. And besides that, if your hand really is that small, just buy a smaller guitar. There's smaller concert guitars. I have a Fender Telecaster actually. It's a Squier Telecaster, but it's like short scale telly, and it just plays and sounds just as great. So if your hands are really that small, you might want to consider getting one of these. What was the other one? I don't know where to start. Right, I don't know where to start. Let's be honest. If you're on YouTube already and you're watching this video already, you know how to navigate your way around the internet. And all you have to do, literally, is go to Google and start typing how to play the guitar. And there's going to be, first of all, it's going to be hundreds and thousands of pages. It's going to be thousands of videos. There's so many good books out there. If you want to start out, you go get a guitar, go to your guitar shop, go to your local guitar shop, say you want to start playing the guitar. And if it's a good shop, they're going to give you some recommendations, what guitars to buy. And they're also going to recommend you some books. So you just grab a good book and you start it from there. That's what I did. I started teaching it to myself. Had a great teacher in between for about a year, and then did the rest all by myself. It is definitely possible. There's so many resources out there. All you have to do is get your ass up. I have to say it that way. Get your ass up and just start Googling and go to a guitar shop and really just do it. And the number one reason, really, the number one reason why you should finally do it is regret. I've heard like people in their 50s and 60s being like, oh man, I wish I would have started playing the guitar. First of all, it's never too late. You can start off when you're 50 or you're 60. It's much easier when you're younger, of course. But they always had that slight touch of regret. Like, I wish I would have started earlier. And I think regret is the single biggest, like, mashup. Like, that can really mess you up. It can mess you up. If you regret something, it can mess you up your whole life. You're going to regret not having started doing this, not having traveled more or whatsoever. Like, this is the only thing that people in their ages, like when they're older, actually say, like, if you could do one thing different, what would you do? And then most people say, like, I wish I would have done this and that. So consider this when you still trying to like find excuses on why you should not start it. Just go out and do it and have fun with it, because that's what it's all about. All right, I'll see you next time.